Saturday morning has rolled around again. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here on the show. We appreciate that. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll through your comments, and then we're going to get to discussing some things of the future of the channel and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. Anyway, here's your comments. No particular order. Again, if your comment wasn't read, you probably did it after the production, or for some reason the moderators and the people that our editor team here has pulled your comment. So, okay, here we are. Let's get rolling here. We got Danger Man on there. Great advice on getting a Smith & Wesson Model 10. I have a 1963, 1970 10.5, both 500 in mint condition. That's great. And that's the thing too, is really awesome, because if you can get those things for a good price like that and they're in good condition, not look like they've been ran over by a truck or something, But yeah, they are great shooters and very, they work and they're tanks. Another reasonably priced one, as you mentioned, is the Model 15. That's another great one that's out there. It's basically a Model 10 with adjustable sights, or rear sight at least. All right, Slim Fire, great R-rated show today. You talked about the Gold Cup, the Colt, and you won one for $700. That's a congrats. Back in February, I was surprised that it went that low. I'm surprised too, but then again, sometimes you run across those all the time, and you know what? I mean, those things have gotten so pricey now that they really. I think a lot of that kind of stuff is getting priced up so much that they're just becoming not worth it. That's just where it's becoming, unless it's something that you just got to have, or something you've set your goal on and you just have to have it. Sometimes you got to pay the price, and that's it to get one. But yeah, especially with today's manufacturing process, and a lot of these other custom shop builders and stuff are able to produce things that are so much more far superior. And you know what? I mean, to me, it gets to the point where if I'm going to spend this much, why not just extend that out a little bit and get something that's like 100 times better? That's just the way I'm starting to look at some stuff, with everything. And of course, letting a lot of things go, just selling off a lot of stuff, and just kind of keeping things that I'm pretty much in the rotation, having fun with at the range and everything, since I've been hitting the range up pretty frequently myself with some new shooting buddies and stuff. So, all right. Looks like it's been working out pretty good for you. You got 100 rounds through it. It's a great shooter. I think that the Springfield FN high power copy that they came out was very nice. It is very nice. I had one for a little while. We checked it out. We did a lot of content with it and shot it quite a bit. Really great gun, but where it landed for me was I kind of started favoring more the Commander variant 9mm 1911s more so, and I kind of wanted to just keep that in rotation for me. And just kind of X out the high power deal for me. Even though I do like the pistol, it's a great pistol, but I think I'm slimming everything down. So I'm just going to stick with the Commander variant 1911 and 9mm for me. Had a Glock 40 caliber at one time, traded it for a 1911. Good trade. I'm going to say I'm not a fan of 40 caliber myself, so they're just I'm not a fan of those. I'm not a fan of high pressured pistol cartridges, really, per se. I know that's kind of controversial. Everybody goes, well, I got this, but it's like, get a rifle. It's at some point, just get a rifle. If you're gonna go through that, that's just the way I am. I mean, mostly what I shoot now at the range and what I load the majority of is 9mm. All right, Big Al. I'm not a Glock fan, but I enjoyed the discussion very much. Funny thing is to watch people who have what they think is a collector's item for sale. Yes, but I gotta say, the Glock 17 Gen 1, the original OG from the 80s, that shocked me when I saw people actually picking those things up and paying as much as $2,000. I've seen some people pay for those. That very one I was watching, I think it ended up selling for some ridiculous amount of money too. Hey, to each their own. If that's what they want to do, that's what they're into. I even said it too. Like, there's no way I pay $1,000 for a Glock. It's just not going to happen with me. That's just way too much money for what you're getting. So, not when they're just run of the mill, fast production type firearms. I will say that Glock Gen 1 that we featured on last week's show, that reproduction, that is a great addition to the Glock lineup. I hope Glock keeps that and just keeps making that as part of their deal. I really wish they would just keep making all the generations that they've done and keep putting those out there. But, of course, they're not going to do that. But I'm glad that they did that with the Gen 1 because it allows people that have wanted that for nostalgia purposes or whatnot, or collection, to get it and obtain it for the same price that their regular stuff is. I mean, for the most part, and I understand, the MSRP, it's like 20. Look, you can find these things in shops and everything for pretty much a flatline price, and that's a really good. And I like the fact that it's a company like Glock doing their own product in a retro throwback, and offering it for that same price tag as the rest of their other stuff. I think other companies need to take heed into that and look into that themselves and actually do that and keep that price tag low, like how Glock has done with that, because I gotta say, big round of applause to Glock for doing so like that. That's awesome. Other companies that have done their reproduction or retro throwbacks or whatnot, and then charging us, the collectors or whatever, and charging us this just astronomical prices, where you got some of these things out there that you're charging people the same prices that as an original one would be. So why would they buy your product? It's crazy. I just that stuff just really to me, it's like, wow, why? All right, Stephen K, the horror. Hey, somebody actually was listening to the end. Thank you. Actually, Glock does make a good, reliable gun. Yes, they do. I'm a fan of them. I do. I gotta admit, I like them for the sake of there's not a lot of parts in them. I mean, there's something to be said about that. There is not a lot of parts in them. So, what does that mean, right? We know that. I'm a 1911 guy who owns 5-inch government model sizes, 1911s and 45, and I only carry a 1911s and 45. But I can admit that Glock makes some good guns, just not for me. Great radio show as always. Thank you very much. Yeah, they do. They make really good stuff for a really low price, and they're very durable. All right, Warren. Great idea for Springfield Armory doing a World War I gun. Again, make it in different calibers, and agree they should do it for the right reasonable price. Exactly. Blue to Parkerize, wood grips. The only reason why I like stainless 1911s is because I saw a photo of the Colt Double Eagle. Are they still getting around? I've seen Double Eagles from time to time. Not a whole lot, but I have seen them. I think maybe it would matter of where you're at too. All right, this one's from Keith Stevens Mose. Great podcast, doing a trigger job while you're on. Thanks for the info. We appreciate you listening. KSFWG. I own one polymer plastic fantastic gun. It's a Glock 42 380 caliber. When I'm out and about and doing this during the summer months, wearing khaki shorts and cargo pants, I slip it in a pocket, holster, with nobody to be the wiser, 3 spare mags on the cargo pocket. I'm good to go. Yes. There you go. I mean, and that's one thing when I looked through some of these comments, it was funny is so many people actually, a lot of you do understand and respect and actually own at least one Glock. And I think the majority of us, and I'm not like one of those super Glock is everything and they're the best thing ever out there. No, I like them. They're reliable. They work. They're kind of they're like a tank of a gun. You can really run them to no end, and I mean they're just going to survive. So that's kind of why I like them. And they're cool. There's a lot of movies that are related to, and a lot of the old school hip hop stuff that it's got some relationship to. So it's a cool iconic gun, regardless of what you may think about it. It's here to stay, and it's changed the handgun world forever. I mean, you can't deny the fact that thing is responsible for the change of handguns. All right, another one here from Keith. Grips. Bought some of the bone grips. It would be great if you offered them as made-to-order item. Thank you. I appreciate that. But honestly, at the way things sit right now, I foresee the grip's really just not going to be out there again. I did it really to get some of those out there to some people and have people get a hold of them, and you know, and the ones that did, you're lucky, because that's pretty much the end of it. I don't really have any designs to start them up again or anything like that. I certainly didn't do it to make money, because I really didn't make a whole lot of money doing that. Same as doing this kind of network stuff, in which we'll discuss. All right, Squib 1911, going for a walk after watching this. I'm gonna open carry my Taurus. I was gonna open carry my Taurus G2C, but I think I'll carry my Ruger SR 1911. All right, Sean Lee, the horror. Hey, another one. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it looks like you didn't stay till the end of the show last week. Yes, Glocks are gross. That being said, I do own a Glock 19. Steel all the way. Squib Lift. I might get a reproduction Gen 117 for collecting at some point. Glock will probably discontinue it, sadly, but there's some truth to that. I think the 17 Gen 1 is the repop is awesome. I think it's great. What a great little piece there. It's fantastic. Jeffrey Richardson, great video. The horror. Thanks, Jeffrey. Appreciate that. Thanks for sticking around. Mike, that's not a Freddy Krueger mug. It's a Michael Myers mug. Halloween movie people. LOL. That's awesome. Yeah, last week, we do have a Freddy mug. We featured it one time. We got to bring it back out. Joe P. Swig of coffee for Joe. No R-rated content on JW channel. The closest thing we ever got was the bloody thumb incident with the 44 stainless stubby. I do remember that. It was a long time ago. It's bad fitted grips on that thing. Whoever has it now or bought it, hopefully they're enjoying it. All right, Bohemian Hunting Club, great channel, guys. Good morning, and a good morning to you. All right, there it is. There's all the comments here that we have. Please feel free to enter your comments and questions and things like that. Also, I'm going to tell you guys, really, you know, I was getting down to thinking about this and looking at this. The channel's been going for coming up. I mean, as we're really, I mean, this year we got a couple of months left in this year. A few months. We got the month of October, because September is pretty much coming to an end. October is rolling around, and as we all know, time flies. You know, I was thinking too that next year is going to mark 10 years of the channel up and running and doing all this stuff. That's a long time. That's a long time, my friends. Early days when we started this thing, it was a group of buddies of mine and myself, and we started doing a lot of stuff. You know, it was just, we had a riot doing a lot of the things. You know, there was a lot of things that were just so fresh and new, and just throwing anything at the wall and seeing if it stuck. Really, I mean, just throwing things together, and it has brought me a lot of you know, enjoyment, happiness, fun times, getting together with a lot of my really close and good buddies back in Hawaii, back home. Always will be home. And you know, just there was a lot of great times, great memories. A lot of those things, you know, memories that places that we filmed a lot of our content is, you know, long gone. We'll never be able to get back there and do it again, you know. So and some of those people that were involved with that, unfortunately, are passed away. So you know, that's another thing. You know, a good buddy of mine that you saw a lot of his property on those early videos, that beautiful green landscape, you know. The guy that took care of that property, helped take care of it, he's gone, you know, he passed away. The guy that owned that property was my dear friend. He's gone, he's passed away. You know, so it's crazy that how much time has passed. These days with the channel and everything, and of course with my life schedules and stuff like that, it just running real thin. But you know, YouTube and you guys have brought me so much stuff, you know, and given the channel so much attention, and I really appreciate that. I mean, we've gotten view counts that I never would imagine in the beginning of starting this, that it would have done what it has done. I mean, no way that I thought that those numbers were going to be achieved, or actually be looking at those kind of numbers, seeing videos of that kind of high counts of views on there. And I do appreciate everybody that subscribed. The ultimate reward in all this, because we certainly haven't made any money really doing this, the ultimate reward was meeting a lot of great people, a lot of you folks that are subscribed, that are actually still sitting here listening to a show, like a podcast type radio deal like this, at 15 minutes in on your Saturday morning, when you've got a billion other things that you could be doing, but you're actually spending it here on the channel. We do appreciate that. It means more to us than we could possibly express. So that's why keeping the radio show and the Collectors Radio Show going will be a top priority here on the channel. We'll always try to keep this show going because it seems to be, well received, first of all. If it wasn't, then, obviously we'd make adjustments from there. I'm going to tell you guys right now, you guys, the Collectors Radio crew, all of you folks that are here and still here listening right now, you guys are the heart and soul of this program. This is why we do it. If it wasn't for you, when we kicked off with the Collectors Radio Show, because we had done the show, the radio show, the Saturday show it started a long time ago, and it was going steady for a while, and then it stopped, and then it kind of picked up again, and then it kind of faded out again, and then now we re-picked it up recently again and doing it. If it wasn't for you, I really don't know what kind of content or stuff we'd be doing with the channel, because things have been slowing down dramatically for us, mainly because of the time and production, what it takes to just throw these things together. A lot of efforts are going into just doing this show alone, so anything else is really just burning the candle at both ends and the middle, trying to get other things done. We did wrap production on that Gen 1 Glock 17 as a showcase video, just showing it. We did wrap production on that, and so we'll get that ready to go and process, and hopefully you'll see it soon. We still have one more video in the hopper that we have not released yet, although it was mainly because of the I guess it just didn't, the first video, the first part of it, in a sense, it just seemed to kind of not really do so well on the channel. But we're going to go ahead and release the second part of that video, which is the extended release of that. And hopefully that should actually be coming available to you at around October 13th. I believe it's set for its, debut on the channel or whatnot, so you can check that out. You'll see how that rolls out. So, but I'm gonna say, I'm gonna try to get some input from you guys, the Collectors Radio Show crew, and I want to get some input from you guys on some of the content that we'll continue to do, if we do so, anything like that. We'll try to take some of your ideas and stuff like that, and maybe throw it in a video or two every so often. And what I'm going to do is basically label that video in the video. When you're watching it, you'll know that that video is because of you folks right there, that has any kind of input on that or whatnot. Because as we're moving forward here, not going to say we're pulling the plug or anything, but a lot of things that I think we're going to just kind of slow down, if not cease altogether. It's getting to the point where it is really hard for us to get to do much of anything else, be it if it's not, traveling miles to get together with other people to do videos. That's going to, I'm kind of going to say I'm going to have to stop doing that. Or getting traveling miles out to get outdoor footage or anything like that. It looks great on paper, but actually physically trying to do it or trying to get out there is just much too draining on me physically, especially with my full-time job and what I got to do and focus on life and hardships of, as we all know, our dollar is not going as far, so we got to make the beans to put the food on the table, and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be top priority. But we're going to focus on the Collectors Radio Show will abide. We will continue to do that for you folks there. So sorry to say if you see kind of a drop in other type of content on the channel, that's the reason why. We're just kind of trying to just life takes over, so you got to kind of do that, so, and everything. So anyway, not trying to make it a downer or anything, but I'm just kind of filling you guys in, the Collectors Radio Show crew, on what is happening here on the channel and all that kind of stuff. So again, it's not everything is going to like completely stop or anything. We're going to do the radio shows. You're going to keep up as time progresses. Only time will tell the future of what will happen and all that kind of stuff. But currently, just like I said, life is just it's just taking over so much. But like I said, we're going to continue doing the show. I'm going to definitely, there's going to be things that your comments and stuff, maybe ideas are thrown out there, or things that you might want to see, close up. That video will be produced on your input on that, and it will be acknowledged that is a video, brought to you by the Collectors Radio Show crew. You. Right there, you folks that are still here at 21 minutes. And that's 21 minutes of your life that you'll never, ever get back, right? So, we're going to talk about a film that's out there right now before we wrap this up. I had mental predictions on it, and I talked a little bit on it, my movie channel stuff that I was doing. The Expendables 4 is out. I really like the original Expendables movie because as somebody like myself that grew up with a lot of those old flicks like that and a lot of those old 80s action stars and stuff, and just running VHS tapes ragged, just watching them over and over again, there was a great thing because it was like, God, look, all these old dudes are together in one movie and it's an action-packed extravaganza. The first two are phenomenal. The third one, I felt like, wow, that one really tanked, and I think they should have stopped. But anyway, my prediction was that even before this had hit out or got out on the release, I was like, you know what? It looks like Sylvester Stallone is not really in this. And sure enough, yeah, he's not. I didn't see the movie myself. I'm just throwing this out there blindly. But I predicted that right, that he wasn't in it a whole lot. Because he wasn't top billing in the cast list. If you look, it was like they listed a whole bunch of people, and it was like, and Sylvester Stallone. So that told you a lot right there. So that being said, and then also I just think that they lost track of what the whole thing was all about in the beginning. So it's doing poorly in the box office, sad to say. But I can totally understand why, in a way, so anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this week's show, and it was just kind of more of keeping you guys in the update, in the loop on what's going on, what we're doing, what we're not doing, and what we're trying to keep rolling, really, for say. So anyway, I do appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.